Flexx Luthor, Morgan's nigga room. So much soul, about to bust out the room. All different flavors, way more than 32. From these shoes, you can't mess with these dudes. Nike Reeboks, about to sock the knees. Golden Goose is on dude.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brother, hosted by yours truly, Flexx Luthor. And today, guys, we are blessed with some guests. What's up? What's new? And how you feeling, fellas?
Sir.
Doing good. What's going on?
Good.
I like it. And some of y'all second time here, some of y'all first time here. So y'all go around, share your name and a little small introduction.
I'll go first because nobody want to do it. I know it's gonna be me or Gabe.
Yeah.
Joe, how you LXNG out here from the H, Houston, Texas. And yeah, happy to be having this conversation.
I like it.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Gabriel Fortson here in ATL. You can find me across social platforms at Gabriel Fortson. Happy to be here with the brothers having this conversation. We're about to chop it up and have a good time.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dwayne Jordan, also known as Kicks Music Art. Happy to be here, man. It's been a minute, so I'm ready to get it going.
My name is Jonathan Williams. I go by J Will Walking Talking on social media platforms. And, you know, I'm voting for everybody that's black.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I like it. So I brought you guys here for a special conversation that I now have every year during Black History Month, and I like to call it the Black Round Table, where we talk about everything sneaker culture and also everything black, and we talk about how to continue and push it forward and also preserve it. So we got a few questions that we're going to go through, and then we're going to also highlight some creators throughout the space, and then we're going to talk about what you guys are working on, and, amplify that, while you guys are over here on the Soul Brother podcast. So, but before we get into that, let's talk about what we had on feet today. Who want to go first? Joe, you want to go first again?
Because all I got on is the Salehi Crocs, the jet black pair. Yeah, I'm just I should have got 5 pairs of them, but yeah, I love these shoes. They comfortable. They got enough style to them, and they just good just to go.
I like it.
I'll follow up with another Salehi. His new collaboration, the Vellum with Puma.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Birthday gift to myself. So happy to have these. I actually missed out on the first 2. So yeah, I'm hyped. They feel good too.
I like it.
Yeah.
Did you cop them from his website?
Nah, I got them from a retailer here in Atlanta.
The secret one that you don't know about, Jay Will.
Nah.
Yeah, man. He didn't want to tell nobody.
You know
Nah,
what I'm saying?
I work for a retailer, so I ain't trying to,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you gotta hold
Don't
your
get in
sources.
trouble.
Hey, I'll go next. So today I wore these. These are the
the new Under Armour joints.
Under Armour Arc 96. These are called No Maps. They're designed by Drew Sanders, and they actually release on this upcoming Friday. But I rock these today. They're super comfortable, great design. And the Arc 96 is to really go back and kind of highlight 1996. So they did a good job, and this is Under Armour's opportunity to kind of get into that, lifestyle segment that most of these runners are getting into. So awesome shoe.
And you did say that
fire.
they're coming out this upcoming Friday. Not
Yeah, they ain't come out yet.
Not that
they
I can
released
go
already.
just go online real quick and just be like, all right, bet. Let me get
go.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I just,
Oh my goodness. Hey, listen, man. It's just humbly here, bro. Humbly here.
yeah, okay.
When you gave, you connected.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I was like, I just seen the picture of them using the logo that way. He already got the shoe. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
already got it.
Hey,
They coming out Friday if you want them, fellas. All right.
I got mine.
Oh,
fun.
man. Certainly blessed.
I'm keep it going with the Salehis.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, just on the move today, so you just had to go. Wait,
Yeah.
has he dropped any new colorways of it?
Nah.
It's been a minute. He might be done with it
I think the
for a
last
while.
one was the Nina. Remember the Nina Chanel
I
joints?
did that.
I think
Yeah.
that was-
Yep.
Our friend's
Yeah.
joint.
I'm having FOMO now because I had a black pair. I sold them like a month ago. And
I got like
Oh,
6
man,
pairs
these
of them
things,
joints.
yeah. God, dog, man.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got like
Yeah.
6 pairs of them joints.
I got the yellow pair. That's the only pair I got. And that's the only pair I'm gonna have. I'm sorry. That's the only pair I'm gonna have. That is crazy.
Wow.
There's,
Shout out
there's
to
one more I
Salehi.
want to get. Yeah,
Yeah, when you
look,
get him on the
crazy
Soul
enough.
Brothers, you'll get some
I
more.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. He
Hey,
have any packs at the door.
Hey,
Got the
hey, drop
book.
that S. It's Soul Brother. But
Soul Brother.
hey, so what I wore today was the Carmine Sixes. I missed out. What was there? 12?
Yeah,
2012.
I think it was
Anyways,
around that time.
Yeah, I was able to pick these up. Not too much to say, man. It's Carmine Sixes.
Yeah.
There ain't too much to say.
Classic.
Yeah.
Nothing need to be said, honestly. But
Absolutely.
yeah, that's the pair I went with today.
The only thing I was scared of when they dropped at the height of the pandemic was that pink.
That
They were
bleeding.
talking about that
Uh-huh.
pink,
Oh
you know?
yeah, yep.
Yeah, it was bleeding.
And I'm a little
Yeah.
colorblind, so I had to ask about 5 people, like, hey, am I affected by this? They look white to me.
Exactly. Yeah. Luckily, that didn't happen to my pair. But when I first got them, I was looking at them like, you know what? They do look a little red.
that light, yeah.
Right.
Is that red?
Man, yeah.
Yeah, nah. But you know, I brought you guys here for a reason, so we're gonna go around and y'all guys are gonna talk about what you've been working on or something that you're working on, if you can share it.
Yeah.
So let's get it.
Yeah.
I mean-
well, right now, big thing for me is I'm working on the State Specific Show. That's my podcast. We talk about the grassroots parts of the culture, sneaker culture, fashion, interview people from all over the world. Just, kind of making sure that we highlight the people that are 10 toes down in the culture, because a lot of times we get caught up into like looking at celebrities and things like that, and we feel like they're moving the culture, but they're actually not moving the culture, man. It's the people that are in the streets, locally, doing things, on the ground, and they're the people that are moving the culture forward. So we try to make sure that we highlight those folks.
Absolutely, I like that. that.
Appreciate you.
And then me is just the same thing. Y'all see these lights back here?
Keep
trying to make sure that I can use these as much as possible this year for projects, whether it's my business, my brand, personal. Just getting into a lot more on the film side. That's really what my study is this year. Always a student of photography, but really getting into it on the video, film side. Because I had to admit to myself that one day I do want to be a world-renowned director. It's kind of crazy to say.
You gotta
but
speak that, brother. Say
that
it
was
out loud.
always
Nah.
the goal, just because of how I love cinema.
Yeah.
That, and then on the brand side, just it's always about these kicks, and just trying to continue to pitch and continue to advocate for Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like Houston is a great city for the sneaker culture, for the the history of kicks. So last year we had a very amazing run from different shops, different brands, different entities out here. So just trying to continue to keep that pulse alive and keep moving it forward, progressing it.
I like it, man. I like it.
That's fine.
You got to speak those things into existence. I mean, I've seen your prior work, man.
Facts.
It's only up from here. So
Facts.
I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna like it. I'm all for it, my guy.
Appreciate
sir. Yes, sir.
So, I work marketing and managing at Soul Play, and we're really just empowering the fandom space, anime, comics, retro experience, just the black nerd, right? Like, we're in this space where that is popular, where, I like to say sneakerheads and comic books and anime, a collector is a collector. You can kind of understand, but the cross lines of that multiverse is happening now, right? We're seeing a lot of fandom kind of releases, and we are really just owning that and creating safe space for our black and brown people to enjoy what they love in sneakers, but also in fandom, anime, and comics. So really cultivating that culture, building it up, and just putting it out there. Really enjoying just creating, right? Like coming today, creating, seeing what the brands are doing, how our brand can keep growing in the space. So it's really fun day to day.
So, on my end, doing a lot. I realize I don't know how not to do a lot. But personally, I'm working on something that could be real fun. And that could come back to the community as a whole, something for them to enjoy. So I don't want to say too much about that, but also at work, I work for the Athlete's Foot. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm in charge of a lot of the community building that we're doing there and events and things. Part of a team that's building some great stuff for the city of Atlanta through our store. Black Footwear Forum chapter here in Atlanta. Me and Jay Will have been working on some stuff. We have a Black History Month event coming up that we been working on since November. So that's finally about to come up. So yeah, so it's been dope. Just being able to give back or pour into Black Footwear Forum because I felt like it poured so much into me. And then my time out there in Detroit at Penn Soul designing and all that, like, so yeah, great full circle moment for all that now, like to just for it all to come together. So yeah, it's been a dope experience and a great start to the year.
I like it, man. You guys are all doing something great and impactful. I always give myself something to take away from this conversation, and I think last year was listening first and then giving my opinion later on. I did a better job this year. You so to say. But what I'm working.
You don't got the answers.
What I've been working on is obviously the podcast, pushing that forward. Really, I think I've invested in it more now, and trying to give people a platform where they can, amplify what they're doing, have real conversation with real people that are like really in sneakers and not just the face of sneakers. So I got a lot of stuff planned this year. I will be outside.
Yeah.
So,
BFF?
Let's go. Let's
BFF?
go.
I will be outside.
I need
will
you
be
there,
outside.
Flex.
I will be outside
need
this
you
year. So I'm excited about that. This is my first time saying this, but I have some studio episodes set up. So be on the lookout for be on the lookout for that, kind of being outside locally where I'm at. So you guys are gonna see some familiar faces. That's what I've been working on.
Yeah, let me know. I'll pull up.
fire, man.
One of the things I'm doing this year is
we'll
going
do a
to a
road
different
trip,
city.
man. I ain't nothing but hopping.
That's 4 hours.
I like
We up there. Look, we up there.
Yeah, it
Hey,
ain't bad.
I'm for it. I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
We'll set something up.
Yeah.
We'll set something up. I got a big guest lined up for my first guest. So I think the people will enjoy that one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but as we talk about all these great things that we're doing within sneaker culture and also Black culture, do you guys feel there is a responsibility that a Black creator may have while moving within the space?
I think that just as people, period, we have a responsibility. But then if you wanna make it more micro than macro, like as Black creatives, we do. It's tough out here. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, and so like we always gotta look at it like even though we're all in this circle, in this space, in the industry, it's still we're still the minority. Like we're the in everything, in most things, 99.9% of things, we are the minority. So like, I think the responsibility is to share and advocate, share wisdom, share knowledge, and to you gotta have a discernment for those that want to listen, for those that actually care. But like me, I give freely, sometimes too freely. I'm working on that.
Nah, it's gonna come back.
I give freely because growing up, man, like ain't nobody give me anything. Nobody gave me anything. Nobody taught me how to shoot photography. Nobody taught me how to do video. You go to people, they say, "Yeah, I got you." And when it's that time, I go to them, and it's like, I ask a question. And the
Yeah.
answer don't have anything to do with the question I
Yeah, it is. Yep.
I asked you what
That
aperture,
merry-go-round.
what ISO I should use in this situation. Not what your sauce is, not how you edit, not how you
Right.
color.
Right.
And I just asked about a setting, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, so is that, and then yeah, bro, and I'm like, okay, so trial and error. But then at the same time, not to just point that out, there have been times where there have been people of prominence that I look up to in this space that I glean from, that have given me a real answer, that
Hmm.
have shared with me real knowledge and real resources. So it is a responsibility, especially as you're climbing and elevating. Like, is reach one, teach one. You know what I'm saying? So teach one, reach one. So like, you wanna do that, and like I say, it comes from me from places. That's just how my heart is, and just not having it. I learned how to shoot my first Nikon camera by reading a boring ass manual. It was YouTube. They talk in circles,
Yeah.
so I took that thick manual out and just read them boring pages, and that's how I learned how to shoot my first DSLR. Yeah, like also, just I do a lot of things, and people have a lot of questions, and like I always tell people all the time, like my messages, my phone, my DMs, email, they open, because you have a responsibility to continue to help things progress and move forward. So it's not a heavy burden if you have that type of heart. Really,
Yeah.
it's not a heavy burden. So
I like it.
that's how
Absolutely.
that's how
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. That's how I view it. Like, nah, I'm not saying go be Superman or Superwoman, go save the world. We can't do that.
Not
But
at all.
you do have a responsibility, if you have it within your capacity, if you have the acumen, if you have the knowledge and the wisdom to share it. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. And like for me, like that reach one, teach one is ultimately what I had on my mind, right? That's the terminology that I've been thinking about this whole time. And I think that it's a mandate, right? It's not for me, it's not an option. It's a mandate, right? Because
Yeah.
I can accumulate, I can acquire, I can, garner and get all these things into space. And I'm not saying me, I'm just speaking in general. And then I go away, and then what is it that I left behind, right? So you can
Facts.
get to these spaces and spots, and like I take it from a leadership standpoint. Like, right, my motto is leadership is an art, and when you get to have access to certain things and you have control over certain things, if a part of your plan isn't to ensure that somebody else has an opportunity to grow in that space or to get the resources or get exposure, right, then you aren't doing your job. Like, you aren't maximizing or appreciating the opportunities that you've gotten, because the opportunity isn't just for you. It can't just be for you. It has to be for somebody else, because there's no way to leave a legacy if it's not attached to something else, right? You gotta make sure that what you've done lives, right? So it can be in a manual, it can be a plaque on the wall, it can be a trophy, but those things don't live. So you have to
Yeah.
make sure that you are sharing the things and the knowledge and all that kind of stuff with other people. And like I said, for me and my philosophy behind it all is that it's not a choice, it's mandatory, right? Everything
Facts.
that I do is about people, right? So shoes is the conduit, right? It's the way that the conversation starter, or it's the reason why we come to a space. But really, for me, the thing is about people. So everything that I do, work, it doesn't matter what it is, but I always relate it back to people. And for those who actually silo themselves off and don't see that everything is about people, then at some point, when they stop doing what they're doing, 9 times out of 10, it's going to end with them. And for me, I don't want it to be that. I want to leave a legacy. I want to make sure that somebody else has had the opportunity to grow and to develop and to achieve their dreams, so that it continues, right? Then hopefully for them, they pass it on. And then just like our ancestors did, my granddaddy, born in 1800, he was a farmer. Like, he passed that on to, his children. They were able to live. And then now I didn't have to farm, even though I did a little bit, but I was able to go to college, do some things, and like move to the big city and then I'm out here like doing other things that a lot of people never dreamed of. And if other people had not done those things before me, then I would not have had the opportunity to do what I'm doing now. So, hey, we got to make sure that we're touching and impacting people, man. It's all about impact.
I feel that 100%, Gabe. That's why, like, for me, community building is so big. That's why I enjoy doing what I do in regards to, well, shoot, everything I do, whether it's personal or whether it's outside at work or whatever. But bringing together community, giving freely, giving the knowledge freely. So my employees, I tell them, I give them any kind of knowledge. Like, I know sneakers is it for me. It might not be it for them. So I always let them know, follow your dream, have a plan, use one thing to get to the next thing, things like that. So giving freely of time, information doesn't cost anything but a little time. Especially if the person that you're giving that time to is receptive. And then, like I said, bringing together community, helping people see opportunities that they may not have known was there. Like, when I was a teacher, one of the things I used to always push on my students was, like, art is not just Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. It's literally everything. It's the clothes you wear. It's the home you live in, the chair you sit in. Like, if you like fashion is another form of art, and a lot of, especially young Black kids, like to get fly. They like shoes, they like clothes, and they're artistic. They have those abilities, those God-gifted abilities, and they don't realize that they could turn that into a career. Like, a story I tell all the time is, like, growing up, like, I always loved shoes, been drawn since I was 4, like, published at 5, my first little publishing, I was like 5 years old, but if I would have known when I was younger that footwear design was an actual job or something I could do, I might have dove into that, or not even might have. I would have gotten into that a lot earlier. It wasn't until I got older where I realized that it's truly where my heart was. And then I had, been going the, I guess, alternative route and getting in the industry and working and trying to contract with different companies and things like that. I felt like that's the responsibility, like making sure we're giving information and letting the youth know that there are other opportunities out there besides what people tell you can and cannot do. Black people are entertainers, musicians, ballers, all that. Like, we can do that, but we do everything else incredibly well too. So whatever it is that you want to do, like Flexx over here, you're building a media company. You feel me? Like, you're in media. A lot of kids don't even know that podcasts will be considered media. They see some of their favorite streamers. Streaming is media, so they may go to school for mass communications now that they realize it's media, so they can get into it as well. So, and I think us having these conversations, but also being in these spaces, give the youth other options as well. So I just remember growing up, all the kids saying, I want to be a football player. I want to be a basketball player. I want, that same thing. But now there are kids that want to get into videography, photography. They want to get into media. So it's like, in music too, but in different routes. Some people are now like, oh, I could be a writer. That's dope. I could be a producer. That's, so those opportunities, I'm happy that we live in a time where everybody's doing a little bit of everything and it can be seen to the youth. And now they have broader options than what we probably had growing up.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm all about access. I mean, I said on Gabe's thing, man, and the gatekeeping, we got, like, I work in HR. And if you could see behind the veil, like, being HR, I can go into our database and I can see what everybody makes. Type their name in, see their salaries. I can see the discrepancy between Black and brown, between male and women, and the access to information. And getting the ability for everybody to shoot the shot is what I want. So if I know it, I'm going to give it to you. Right? Because now that's going to get you further, right? It's about who you put on, not what you have, right? Like, at some point, having everything in the world is going to be lonely. But if you give it to everybody, everybody has it, Everybody's coming to you being thankful, and you're just thankful to give, right? Like,
Right.
I just want to share, give access. Like, you know, I always love throwing assists, like Jay Kidd, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to give the ball to other people, give opportunities to other people. Like Flexx, like you said, with this platform, it's not only the big creators, but people that are just into sneakers. They may have never thought to get on a podcast, but you realize, like, hey, I really love what you're talking about with the love for this sneaker. Jump on the podcast. Let's talk. Let people hear your perspective.
Yep.
That's big. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times in sneakers and social media, we're chasing the big names or the people with the mass following, but all of us had 0 followers. And all of us saw that at times your followers could shoot up and they can shoot down. You really couldn't put no rhyme or reason. All you can say is you tried your best and you put your best product out there. But sometimes it shoot up 1,000 people and you're like, I ain't do nothing different.
Right.
Or that wasn't even my best product and that went viral.
Yeah.
You know, anybody that shares the love for sneakers, that's doing it because they love the art of it, they love the product, they love how it makes them feel. We're in a small community where when we have that conversation, like, we brighten up. Like, when you tell somebody I got 100 shoes and somebody's like, man, I got 150, that makes you feel good. You go talk to a regular person, they be like, you got 100 shoes?
100 shoes.
Right.
Do you have a house?
For
Do
what?
you have a car?
Yeah.
Why would you, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to justify what you spend your money on when everybody finds something to spend their money on for their happiness. That's just,
For sure.
you work hard, people are going to play hard in some way to justify all the hard work they put in. So, man, just keep giving access, information. I love what y'all were talking about on the last one with Dre the Shoe Guy, just giving that history. You know what I'm saying? Like, when hype comes in, sometimes history get lost. And we got to hold up those people in the community that have been given history, that continue to give history. Just because they have so much knowledge, and that's what we want to keep as we continue to grow the sneaker community. It's a small community. You got to think about the big boom was in the 90s.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other communities that's been going on a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like one of the things I struggle with, I said on the last one, is giving each other grace. A lot of us are getting put into positions we've never been in. We don't know what to do with. So when something is said, it feels like an insult, or you coming at me, and we get defensive because we don't know how to handle that. I've never been here before. I've never been in charge of this. I've never ran this. I've never done this. So the interaction when it's, you know, 2 black people in a conversation, it ends differently when it is someone that doesn't look like us. It's just a little more calmer, it's a little more chill, because again, some of us have not been in these places before. So like when I'm having these conversations and I know I touch on touchy subjects that like people really don't want to talk about, I try to give people grace. You know, I try to like, all right, let me try to explain myself and not just, well, I don't agree with this person because I don't like what they're doing. Well, I'm gonna tell you why I don't like what they're doing and how it's connected to me and what I dislike about it, so we can have this conversation. And maybe at the end of that conversation, you might put me on to like, oh, well, you didn't know that this person was doing this and this person doing that and this person doing that, and it's like, oh, I didn't, you know. And it's all, you know, it's all a learning curve. But I feel like sometimes we get in these back and forths, and we're so quick to be like, I do made me mad. We're done. I'm not talking to him, and you can't build and you can't grow like that. And I feel like we're a lot more forgiving when it's someone that doesn't look like us, and it's like, well, he did the same thing that he did, and you're like, oh, well, that's blah blah blah. It's like, well, it's the same thing. They're both human. They're both in charge of this. They're both a community manager here. So like, what's the difference? You know, so I feel like that's definitely one of our responsibilities is, you know, giving each other grace and not being afraid to connect the dots. Like, I love supporting black-owned businesses. I love amplifying black creators, but don't be afraid to connect the dots with someone that doesn't look like us.
Yeah.
I don't believe in, you know, oh, well, I'm only going to work with this person. I'm only going to work this way, because we all know that the access may not be there for the people that look like for us. So the only way we're gonna get in those rooms is knocking on those doors. So if we every time we see that door walking past, nobody in there looks like me. I'm walking past it.
Yeah.
Well, the next person going, well, nobody looks like me, so I'm walking past that. So, and there's no one that's ever going to be in that room that looks like us if we're not willing to be like, all right, you know what, I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the one that's going to go in here and connect the dots. And then once you get in there, you can put the homies on too.
Absolutely.
All right, well, you know, I learned this because there's a lot of things that I've learned within the sneaker space from people that don't look like me. And I'm like, dang, I never knew that. Like having homeowners insurance on your sneakers. Like I didn't know that. Shout out to Brain Dead Pikachu. Like he put me on that. I'm like, that's a thing? You can do that?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, man, all those shoes you got, like, take care of them. Put insurance on them, and you know. And the thing about it is, like, something happened to them, they give you resale value for them, not even like the retail. So you guys are collectors. Y'all know y'all got shoes that you may have bought for $100. It's worth $500, $600. So, you know, that's something that we can pass on to other people, and as well as, you know, the next generation. And it's all about learning, growing, and building together. So that
I agree.
There's definitely some responsibilities, but whatever responsibilities definitely come some pressure, because you look around and you're like, well, nobody else has a responsibility, so why I gotta be the one that's gotta connect the dots? Why I gotta be the one that's gotta you know, turn the other cheek? You know, because it get tough sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. It get tough sometimes. You know, I'm like, you know, all right, cool. We're gonna let it slide. You know, I ain't gonna get too crazy about it. But yeah, that's definitely one of those things. Do you guys feel like being visible, it equals that power within the space? Like, if we can get to where everyone can see, do we still get that same type of power? And
I feel like visibility is a part of the power. It's not the power, but it is the power for some things, but it's a part of the overall power. You can have visibility and not know what to do, not know the power that you have, and you can mismanage that. You can have very little visibility and have all the power in the world. So that's something that I've struggled with since the beginning. I mean, even before shoes, just in life, period. Like, you know, you have people coming to you telling you that you're good at this, or you're great at this, or nobody can do this like you and everything. And then you like, well, but where is that? While there's power in that, the visibility you can feel like the visibility can take away from that. And so I feel like it was the theme of Black Footwear Forum last year. And it's like, it's stuff, you know, you hear stuff all the time, but it's like, at certain points in time, you can hear the same thing. And once you're a little bit older, a little bit wiser, it resonates with you.
Yeah,
and the theme of BFF last year was Own Your Power. And that retreat, man, messed me up. Because it was like, you know, I can't remember the exact bar, but it was something to the effect of, if you don't own your power, someone else will.
Yep.
And so, like, in that, it's like visibility, like I said, it adds to the power. But if you don't know how powerful you are, if you don't know how to apply that power, if you don't know how to use that power, wield that power, then the visibility means nothing. Because now you're on the world stage looking like a fool, acting like a fool. But I will say, for those that do understand, that do have that esteem, that do understand themselves, that has taken the time to work on themselves and continue to work on themselves, because you never get to a state of, I'm not healing. We always healing.
Always.
We always
Big
growing.
facts.
We should always be healing. We should always be growing.
Word.
We should always be, you know, listening to understand and comprehend. We should be willing to soak up something here that's of good nature. And so someone like that, the visibility means everything. It could amplify it, I should say. It could amplify a lot and help a lot of things grow and accelerate much quicker than it would have before. So, like I said, visibility is very important. There are some people that I know aren't even into social media that are some of the most gifted people I know. But the world may never know it because of the lack of visibility. But I know it. And then there's some people that are like that I've known that they know it and they serve their community and their family and those around them with it, but they don't care for the visibility. So
Yeah.
it's just it's really based on what you want to do, where you want to go, who you want to be. Like the visibility, like I said, it's a very key thing. But it doesn't define your power. I guess
Yeah.
that's I said all that to say visibility is a key thing, but it doesn't define your power.
Yeah.
Because you could be the most powerful person in the world, and people you go in a room and everybody know it, everybody feel it, everybody mess with you because of it, and you don't even have Instagram, but they know, hey, that's such and such.
Yeah.
You might want to go talk to him and glean some from him or her, because that such and such, yo, they been doing this. They've took lumps and bumps and bruises and have such experience that is profound, and you're not gonna get that from anyone else. And they got 100 followers online,
Yeah.
you know. So it's a balance. For me, it's a balance.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
no
say.
doubt.
It's a balance between visibility and power. Yeah, pretty much what you were saying, Joe. Like you have to be able to understand your power in order to harness it, and then decide if that level of visibility is what you want. Because some people have the power, they have the gifts and all that, but they would rather be behind the camera or behind the scenes. And there's power in that, being behind the scenes. You know, you don't have to be on Front Street to lead a whole cause. You know what I'm saying? If you know your power is bringing communities together, you don't have to be the face of that community. The community will speak for you. You know what I'm saying? The things that you do for people will be seen in other ways. That's why, like, my biggest thing is you give good, you put out good, you put out love, you put out energy, positive energy, and it's gonna come back to you, whether it's seen by millions or just seen by the people in your community. So visibility is good, but it should not be the end goal for you. You know what I'm saying? The visibility, if everything is hitting how it's supposed to, the visibility is going to come regardless. If you're out and your goal is to do good, to build, to help create opportunities for people of all shades, colors, or whatever, but creating opportunities, the visibility is going to come. That's like with anything. Like years ago when I was a teacher, I said I wanted to wake up and have my everyday life be about shoes. And putting that out there and saying that has now allowed literally my every day to be about sneakers. Whether it's designing, working, dealing with people, whatever, is like everything I do revolves around footwear now. And you know, it's a beautiful thing. So make sure you know what you want, and then you can get it in some way, shape, form, or fashion by doing you, right? Because that's all I did. I just did the things that I wanted to do, and that presented and created opportunities for me. Before, when it was just up here, that's also another thing. Your power, if your thoughts and power only live in your head, that's where they're gonna stay. You gotta be bold enough. You gotta be bold enough to say it out loud, because then opportunities come when you say it out loud. So, like I said, whether that's being behind the camera, in front of the camera, or out in your community, if it's good, it's gonna bear fruit.
Yeah, that's dope. I agree with that, man. And as everybody was talking, I think of like a really good example, right? So Larry Miller with Jordan Brand, right? Probably one of the most powerful dudes in the sneaker industry, right? And for a long time, you know, you might hear their name, you might hear the first name, but not know the last name. Never really knew what he looked like unless you were like deep into that world. And then he develops this power. Like he has power that he can wield over a whole lot of things in regards to people's careers, in regards to like the direction that a multi-billion-dollar company can go, all that thing. So that's a form of power. But then he gets to a point in life where he feels like he needs to share something about his personal life and actually put himself out to be seen and to be known and for people to know who he is personally. And that created a whole separate type of power because now he's allowed for people to actually release these shackles that they've had about being embarrassed or, concern about something that they've done in their past that, that lives in their brain and maybe they've had like, negative experiences, throughout their lives about, but he gave people the power. So he has this one power, and then now he has this other power to actually share power and give it to somebody else to be able to put themselves on a path to where now they can go create a certain type of power for themselves. And ultimately, all this power together creates this impact, right? That once again, for me, it comes back to people, right? So as everybody was talking, I was thinking about he's like the perfect example about in regards to like, yeah, he was kind of an enigma. Like nobody really knew who he was.
Right.
But then once he put himself out there for people to know and to share his story, then at that point, that created this whole different type of power that now thousands, probably, I would venture to say, over so, millions of people have now been able to actually supercharge themselves and create an opportunity to actually, move forward and be successful and like follow through with their dreams because he kind of he gave them the freedom to think that, okay, I don't have to be judged or be bound to this thing that happened to me in my past. So that's the example that I kind of thought about the time that we were speaking.
Like, wait, real quick, like Gabe, that's a phenomenal example because we were in that session together.
Yeah.
And do you remember, like, by when Larry Miller came out and said that, like, because I remember the article when it first dropped, I think a year or two before, and I was like, this is Larry Miller, but it was like, this is not Larry Miller, like, this is not defined Larry Miller, but this is a part of his history, right?
Right.
And for him to come out and tell the story, and then you remember in that session, it's the example of what you just said when he. We got the book, and that book is on my list to read this year for sure.
Okay.
It was another black man in there that stood up, and he was like, because he was talking about how he had a case or something like that in his past, and how Larry Miller coming out and sharing his story helped him because he thought before that day he didn't really know about his story.
Yeah.
It was Larry Miller and Shaka, and he was like, this helped me because he thought that his life was over.
Yeah.
And think about it, he was free in the world, in the room with us, but he was shackled by his past.
Yeah.
And he thought his world was over, and that he had to go hide, and that he had to be invisible. And that helped him to feel seen and have that visibility and be okay with being seen.
Right.
That, man, yeah. Hey, yeah, man, yeah. That, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. I want to do it on a micro level, right? Like, it's a Maya Angelou quote. People may not remember what you said or what you did, but they remember how you made them feel. And that's the initial power that you have, is that relationship that you have with one person. And that can compound on interest because that one relationship, that power and that can give you other relationships that you never even knew because you made that relationship blossom, right? Open doors that you never thought of. So even when you look at some of the big creators or even big decision makers, it's been somebody that they influenced in the aspect of they felt good about that person, either the work they did, how they carried themselves, how they followed through. Those emotions allowed for that power to really take hold that just compounds over time to, those people looking up and being bigger decision makers. And that's why you never know who you gonna meet. We all could be in a room and somebody you didn't think is anything could be the next CEO of Nike, right? You can't see the projection someone is. So everybody that you interact with, that time that you spend, it can be a gem that you never knew. You just gotta shine it up. So.
For sure.
Facts.
I like it. I'm gonna have to do my research. Gabe, you just put me on with Larry Miller. I don't
Hey,
know who
Gabe be
he is.
having the knowledge, boy.
Man,
Listen,
I don't know who he is, but I will by the end of the night. So.
he a
Yes,
bad
sir.
man. I just want to
Listen.
tell
Yeah.
you, Larry Miller, a bad. Hey, them Carmines you got over there, and the shoes I got, Jordans,
Listen.
might not be here in the way that we know them to be here without
Yeah.
Larry Miller.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah.
I
Hey,
like it, man.
Flex, I'm gonna link with you, man. I'm gonna send you a picture of that book too, man, so you can
Yeah,
maybe
it's
scoop
right
that up.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Most
Maybe y'all
definitely.
wanna.
Most definitely. I'll do that.
It's called Jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Y'all got that the black footwear for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't going that session, man. I be trying to make sure I'm not in the sessions y'all be at.
Hey,
But
man.
y'all always choose the good ones.
Hey, man.
Listen,
Yeah,
it's no
man.
bad
Dang.
sessions there though. It's never a
Yeah,
bad
I like it.
session.
You can take some from everyone for sure.
Every
That's a fact.
like that's why I love it.
Do you guys feel? I was thinking about this question. I know I put. Do we see that there's lacking ownership within media storytelling and pretty much throughout the sneaker industry? But I want to add on to that. Is it a lack of, or is it us not amplifying these names? Because again, like I didn't know who Larry Miller was to today. And not saying that he hasn't been amplified, but I think there's a lot of stuff that we don't hear or see or know about. You
Yeah.
know? So do you guys think it's a lack of ownership or it's just a lack of amplifying it?
I think it's multiple reasons, right?
Facts.
So like, that last question, I could have gone a lot of different ways with it. I know like a couple of years ago I told myself that, I have to be present. Like that's the thing that like I charge myself with, because what being present does is that it does a lot of things. One thing it does is that it offers or gives you the opportunity to build your credibility, right? Because if you're if you're in spaces all the time and people know who you are, they have develop a relationship with you and stuff like that, then that gives the next person that you meet like a little bit more credence to say, okay, let me like talk to that person and get to know them. So that's one thing. But the other thing that it does is that it gives you exposure to this information. Like, going to Black Footwear Forum last year was the second year. And I know we keep mentioning this, but it's that impactful to the point to where, I mean, it could be used for probably every example that we put out there. Like, there's probably something that we can pull from it. But what it does is that it actually allows you to be in those spaces to where when they mention a name like a Larry Miller or, a Shaka Sungur or, anybody else that they might put up on the stage, from like StockX or from the Detroit Pistons or from, Nike or Adidas or, whatever other brand that you want to take. And one thing that Black Footwear Forum did too is that there are multi-million-dollar corporations that send representatives from their companies there that don't sell sneakers. They don't sell clothes, but they do these other things that are, tangential to the business that you also get a chance to meet. So being present gives you an opportunity to be exposed to more, and then once you're exposed to more, then that actually kind of allows you to gain some power to do certain things, and it actually opens doors to certain resources. But I think in regards to like the global perspective, in regards to like looking at like who owns media companies and who has the power to make decisions around certain large decisions, that's a tough hill to climb. So we've seen certain entertainers that have tried to own networks and to start their own TV, I don't know, stations or whatever. And it, for some reason, it doesn't work out, and we won't get into all that now because there's we
go down that road.
Yeah, we don't want to do that, man.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't need no one eyeball looking at all of us all the time.
Hey,
from the side, you know what I'm saying?
We get close.
Yeah. So with what we have to work with, right? Because I look at, hey, we're talking about like black stuff. Our ancestors, they got the scraps off the table. And what do you get out of that? You get soul food, right? So with the things that we have to work with, what do we do with those things to create the power and the opportunity and the resources that we need to move forward? And that's where the coming together, um, puts us in a place where we can do that. Now, people have to be like-minded. They actually have to be willing to do that, because unfortunately, everybody's not willing to do that. Some people, they're going to meet you and they're going to see the strength that you have, and they're going to want to like take that away from you. It's like almost like a Marvel show to where, okay, they see that you can bend steel, and they're going to touch you and they're going to take your power to bend steel away, and then they're going to grow and like go do their thing and like leave you there, helpless. And some people think like that, man. It's a vicious world. Like this whole sneaker world is vicious. And it can be, but you got to have a spirit of discernment to be able to determine who are the people that I really want to be around, and then how close are you willing to get to the sun to like gain or garner this other information, right? So sometimes we got to take our own risks to like be able to like get access to something. Like for me, I think this year, like somebody, I just say her name, Christina Faith, just told me, hey, say, listen, you got to stop being so humble. And you got to start asking for what you want, because I won't ask nobody for nothing. It's like I'll just sit back and like watch people get what they get, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like a part of me is like, well, if they don't see that I'm worthy enough to like get it, then it just is what it is. Like I can't make somebody like feel something about me that they don't feel, and I'm not in the business of doing that. However, probably 85% of the other people that got it probably just asked for it, and it wasn't that they were on that person's mind either. They just asked for it. So I'm sitting over here, looking like, whoever sitting in this chair, like without it, and all I had to do was ask for it. So, that's what we have to like we have to put ourselves out there and be vulnerable, but we also have to collectively work together. And I mean, quite frankly, everybody on the screen, and you're a part of it, Flexx too. Like, I know you've had your own journey, and you've done your thing, but like you in the fold now, bro. We do all these things behind the scenes, collectively, to like ensure that the other person has what they need to like get what they want. Like we talk enough to each other to say that, if Dwayne wants to have a classroom full of kids, like he's a teacher, so he has that resource. So just give me some grace on my example. But if he wants a classroom full of kids to teach something to, and he didn't have access to that classroom, but I know a principal, and we can get him access to that classroom, then I'm obligated to do that. Like it's not even like a thing; it's automatic. So putting yourself in a collective to where you can actually like make things happen, because like I've been given an example like about the civil rights movement, man, about how they used to meet at churches, meet at Masonic lodges, meet at, somebody's storefront downtown to like get together to determine what is it that we need as a community, right? Miss Jones down the street, her lights off. She doesn't have any money. So now we're going to put our money together to make sure that we turn her power back on, right? But if we didn't get together as that group, maybe we wouldn't have been able to, one, know about it, or be able to put enough funds together to be able to like get her lights back on. So people have to like come out of these silos. Like everybody's kind of like built themselves up in these silos, and it's like, hey, I got to make it, and by any means necessary. But then they forget that you can't do this thing by yourself, and so that's where I'm at on it.
That part.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
there's
man,
power in community.
Pass the plate around. We just gonna pass the plate.
Yeah.
But you even gay, right? Like you said, you aren't gonna get into it, right? And we talked about ownership in media. We were going to talk about some names and how they made power plays to be one of the big media brands in TV or in other spaces. And their shortcomings cut them at the knees to stop them at their top goal. Looking at Obama, he was someone that was able to reach the pinnacle that as a young person I didn't think was possible. And the reason why he was able to make it is because the skeletons, his weakness, were not so blaring that stop him there. So if you have big goals, I tell anybody at home, your weaknesses you need to work on, and you need to make sure that they're not going to be something that stop you from that goal. Because as you get power can be consuming, and a lot of times no one man should have all that power. So with some of those weaknesses, you gotta look at them. Are they going to hold you back from the ultimate goal, no matter how good you get?
Yeah.
Right. And if you judge and look at those situations, it will help you keep the climb, even if you have that full control. So
Yeah.
Facts.
because we can't do what other people do. You know what I'm saying? We can't have certain skeletons.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
other people that have those skeletons
Oh.
in those roles.
Yep.
And no, you get them skeletons, they're gonna bring you on down. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? They wiretap
Riverside.
MLK. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and put out imagery on, his shortcomings
Yeah.
to stop the mission. So
To this day.
Yeah.
this day.
This day.
Facts.
Word.
Yeah.
I think that overall, like, to kind of like piggyback off Jay Will, is like the skeletons in the closet, right? A lot of times they hold us back mentally. Is getting in front of them, right? People can't use things against you if you put it out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know that you had a couple slips and falls, make that part of the message. Make that part of the message that you put out there when you are elevating and becoming. Let people know that you are a human being. You are not a perfect being, right? You had your slips, you had your falls, but this is how I bounce back from it. Like we the thing is, we have examples like Larry Miller, like James Whitner. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that's had these crazy beginnings that didn't let it stop them. And then not only that, they get in front of it. They're like, look, this is what happened. This is what's going on. This is still my goal. This is what I'm trying to do for our community.
Yep.
It's funny, but not funny, but kind of like I equated to the movie 8 Mile, that last battle when Eminem said all that about himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, look, what you gonna tell me about me that I ain't told you already? Right? And so with that, that's power, because it's like now you own your narrative instead of allowing people to paint the narrative of you. And now you gotta like rebound and try to like battle the fake narrative, when all in all you give the actual narrative, and the people that know you, know your integrity, know what it is that you stand for. They might be like, dang, I ain't just like literally we just talked about Larry Miller. Like, folks do not know, or most people don't know about the cases, and like, you know what I'm saying? But CEO of Jordan Brand, like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy. So is owning a narrative and being able to take that narrative and not let it keep you in shackles, and not necessarily use it to push you forward, but also not letting it hold you back. Taking ownership of your power, basically, and now elevating, being able to have access or knowledge or information to elevate and get to the next level. One is key, but you have to, in order to have that access and to grow and elevate, integrity has to be there, at least with us, because we can see around, especially even with our current president, integrity for them, and we all know who them is, doesn't necessarily have to play a key. You know what I'm saying? Integrity is the story they want to paint, and then they're going to have a million people believe it just because they are who they are. For us to elevate how we want to elevate, we have to have high-level integrity, because when you're upfront, honest, and truthful, whether it's good, bad, ugly, and different, nobody can really hold that against you and keep you from what it is God has planned for you. You can't hide in your past. You hide in your past, it keeps you down. You elevate, you accept it, it helps you elevate. It becomes part of the story. And that's something I use now. Like, whenever something's going on, I'm like, look, it's just part of the story. One day I'll get to a certain point and people will see the story and understand what it is I had to overcome to get here. So take your past, use it as part of the story, and keep pushing. You'll get to where you want to go.
Man, I really don't need to say anything. I'ma just, because all the topics tonight, there are layers and nuances that we don't have enough time for. But this one right here just hit me in my chest. hitting me in my chest because y'all all was preaching. You know what I'm saying? It made me a little emotional. Like, God damn. Like, it's a lot of variables that we all talked about. And, you know, it's that phrase, control what you can control, and what you can't control, you just let it go. Like,
Yeah.
not even just in shoes, just oppression is on the table, racism is on the table, prejudice is on the table, um, slavery, even though they're trying to wash it out, is on the table.
Yeah.
Being snatched from our homes to the point to where we don't even know what our roots are is on the table. Like, it's a lot of that's on the table, and it goes on daily, right?
Yeah.
And those variables we can't control, but we can control how we operate within them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of lack. It's a lot of lacking. It's a lot of lacking. Gabe touched on that. It's a lot of lacking, but I feel like even with that, being such a resilient people, man, like we've overcome so much, and it just goes to something else that Gabe touched on is the willingness. Like, going back to sneakers in this industry, in this space. Like, I remember one year, every day, you know how our parents or grandparents or great grandparents would read the newspaper every day.
Yep.
One year, I think it was 2023 or 2024, I said every day, every morning, I'm going to read Complex, I'm going to read High Snobody, I'm going to read Hype Beast, I'm going to read Footwear News, I'm going to read whatever publication is out there online that I can look at on a website. Every day I'm going to read that. And I'm not going to just read anything about shoes. I'm going to read the articles that are there. I'm going to research the article that I find interesting about this person, about this entity, about this style, about this fashion, about this shoe, about this technology, about whatever. And I'm going to consume that because you have to have the willingness to, even with the lack of access to, learn. And we see it right now, like, education is at one of the worst points ever in the history of America.
Yes, sir.
And they're blacklisting and banning books that are vital to our history and to our progression, and to just everything, not just black, but just everything, but especially black.
Yep.
And so with the lack that's there, we just have to continue to be uncomfortable and comfortable in operating within what we have access to. And then touching on what Gabe talked about earlier, ask.
Yeah.
Ask.
Oh, yeah.
You can piss people off, ask. You can get rejected, ask. You can get denied, ask. You can get delayed, ask. Ask the question. Have the request, because while there is a lack, and that has been put in place intentionally, we have so much, man. We have so much. This conversation has been so much. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it don't need to be reserved for a podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is ownership. Flexx, you own this.
Yes, sir.
This is yours.
That's exactly
You know
what I was saying earlier.
I own Thoughts for the Soul.
Yeah.
Gabe owns Stateside. Jay Will owns Jay Will's property. Dwayne owns Kicks Music Art. Like, we own our content. We own our work. We own our everything that we create, that we think of, every idea and dream that we bring into this reality, we own it. So it's, while there is a lack, and I feel like, I'm gonna be real. This not being pessimistic. This is being realistic. It's probably gonna always be there, and if it's not, we won't probably be here, or we will be in war behind it. You know what I'm saying? If it's not there anymore. So But to answer the question, it's all of those things: lack of ownership, lack of amplification, lack of willingness to learn and research, lack of asking the question, lack of the community, lack of the grace that you spoke on earlier, Flexx, lack of being uncomfortable with being wrong, and accepting that you were wrong, and trying to reconcile. It's a lack, but within that lack, like I say, there we have so much to be able to stand on and grow from. So yeah, man, like boy, y'all got me.
I like it. I like it. Nah,
Yeah.
I like it. That's true. That's truth, man. And like I said, these conversations. This is my second year doing this. I feel like we always come like the energy in the beginning of the episode changes by the end of the episode, and
Facts.
I'm glad you said that, Joe, because though there is a lot of hardship, there is a lot of things that we got to overcome. There's so many great things that we've done, so many great things that we created, so many great things that we can say is part of our culture that has stemmed other cultures, or the
Facts.
roots and the base and the foundation of
Yep.
other cultures. So yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of things to be. There's a lot of things to be grateful for, man. As we continue to grow, as we continue to, continue to own and create, we also can be grateful for what's already here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
it. That's one of those things that we gotta remember.
I was saying it's a big power in that, like just being
Yeah,
grateful
absolutely.
for what we have, because
Yeah.
that that gratitude also amplifies
Mm-hmm.
everything that we intend to do and what we plan to do. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you just goes back to like understanding that we're in places that maybe our parents could never thought that they could be in, our
Yeah.
grandparents. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So we're only, even if it's not us, we're setting the stage for the people that can. Kind of like Tupac said, if I don't change the world, I bet y'all spark the mind of the person that will change the world. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's us. That's us. And as we continue to grow and elevate, it's people that's gonna watch this episode and be like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I can do this.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
it'll be the battery in the back to get them to the next level. And that might be the one that changed everything. Or
Yeah, it is.
he might spark the person and change everything. Or she. You
Right.
know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, so we're doing the work. And
Yeah.
and that's something I could say, all five of us on this thing. We're doing the work. Whether it's at a high level, low level, whatever, the work is being done and the
Mm-hmm.
impact is being made.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely easy to. I always tell like the younger guys that I work around. Like I always tell, man, it's easy to be the bad guy. Anybody can go out there and bang bang shoot them up,
Yeah.
But it's
I might start
hard.
right now.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard to look the other way. It's hard to not go out there. Oh, I know how I can make some easy money. I know I need some money right now. I know how I can get it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard
Yeah.
to. Nah, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make this legal money. I'm not gonna be watching over my shoulders. Like it's hard to like bite your tongue and like I ain't gonna say nothing because I already know that I know what that person wants from me. I know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's hard to do that. So like I always tell them, man, like challenge yourself, and try to do things the right way. Try to do
Yeah.
things the way that they should be done, and then look back at that person you used to be, and you'll know that that man that you used to be can never be the man that you are today. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah.
Big
And
Yeah.
facts.
so yeah. But before I let you guys go, I want you guys to highlight one black creator within the space, or it don't have to be within the space. Um, and one thing that you would do moving forward, remainder of this year to preserve and move the culture forward.
So I'll start it off. One black creator within the space that I like to highlight is AC out in California. Uh,
Facts.
Better every day.
Yeah,
Better every
yeah,
day.
my God.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why is first off, the guy is super humble. He
Yeah.
is super giving. And
Absolutely.
he's also super like talented, right? Like he has like great ideas. He's able to like turn those ideas into reality, and he's overcome a lot of things in order to like get his business to where it is now. But I wanted to highlight him because I think that he has a product that we all are in a space to use, and sometimes because some people don't know that his product exists, then they may go to the local C store. I'm not even gonna say their name out loud.
Yeah, I
but,
feel you.
you know what I'm saying? And order something offline or something like that, and they get a product that it serves a purpose, but it's not as good as the product that he has created because he's done some
Yeah.
innovative thing with his product. And have an opportunity. Once again, we're back at Black Footwear Forum, right? It brings people together. Like, I met him in person for the first time back in Detroit this last year. Had talked to him over the phone. There are a couple other people on here that super close to him. But
that's
just
my brother right there.
just having an opportunity for me, like I said, I think I have a great spirit of discernment, and like being able to like see like how people move and like what they do and like how they interact with folks. Like this guy's like he's a salt of the earth. He's really out there trying to offer something to us as a community that can like allow us to have some longevity and to preserve like what it is. It's not just kicks. You can put hats. You can put a lot of stuff in his products. But he's also trying to help his local community through that. So wanted to highlight him and just make sure that hopefully, because we talked about earlier off camera that I see 2026 being the year of growth. My prayer is that his business and the things that he's developed to this point, grows exponentially, and that he's able to be put in spaces and places and in front of people that a year ago he had no clue that he would be in front of. So shout out to AC.
Shouts out to him. A creator I would like to highlight is she used to be a neighbor of mine like some years ago. Her name's Cleo Armstrong. She's actually like a fashion stylist, and when she was here in Atlanta, she she would do sets and stuff for people, but she's taking off crazy. She's in between New York and LA right now, but she styles. She did something for Leon Thomas. She did the setting for the music video. It was Leon Thomas and another artist. I'm so mad that I'm forgetting her name, but she does a lot of dope work just in the production space, and really like she was on the sneakers app like 2-3 times last year. Like a recap, she was part of the ad for the denim fours and all of that. Like, so she's been elevating simply by following her dreams. And so yeah, Cleo Armstrong. Her Instagram is at Cleo.a. At least I believe that's what it is. Just off top of the dome. But yeah, like Cleo Armstrong, she's super dope. Making a way for herself and is really just taking off in the fashion, footwear, and style space, and even like set design and direction as well. So she's multifaceted, multi-hyphenate, and she's killing it.
Yeah, I like it.
So I've been sitting over here trying to just think of just different. It's so many, but I think the name that just keep coming to me because of aspiration is Christina. When I
was thinking of her too.
I've had in my phone, whether I had Android or iPhone, I have my notes. And in my notes for, I want to say maybe the last 10, 15 years, I've always had this a dream of a creative agency, right? And so, if you know anything, speaking to what you talked about earlier, what we talked about earlier with ownership, like when you look at creative agencies that work with these big brands, Adidas, Nike, Jumpman, a lot of them are not black owned. Now they have some of the most brilliant black people on the team, but a lot of them are not black owned. And so to see what Christina has with the Grindhouse and how she is already in a place where I want to be, like I have to highlight that because it's like, yo, she's doing it.
Doing it, for sure.
And I'll be there one day, but she has her system, she has her structure. The show that she released talking about, the top shoes last year.
Yeah.
That production was next level. Yeah. It was like a network production. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, yo, like a lot of people could be intimidated by seeing people at a place where you feel like you should be. But it does nothing but inspire me and motivates me, encourages me, because it can be done, and it's being done at a very high level. And we talk about visibility and amplification. You know, amplify that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
Christina is doing some dope, high level things right now,
Yeah.
and her energy. You could be intimidated by her energy too, cause she gonna ask. She gonna ask. She gonna say. She gonna do. She gonna tell you. She gonna do.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're not prepared for that, if you're not on your 2 feet, you'll be like, well, damn, what?
Yeah.
Where this come from?
Yeah.
And so, like,
Sure.
you know, that's the name that just kept thinking about all the names that just kept coming to me, like Christina. Like, I wanna shout out her.
Yeah, you got me about to change. You know, shout out to the person I was gonna shout out to. But I got look, I gotta keep I got
Just
keep it
DM
real,
him
man.
tonight.
I gotta keep it real. Nah, I shout out both people. Dante, the artist, he does like art. He does custom sneakers. He does a lot of great work and very detailed. I see a lot of custom kicks that get amplified and be very minimum and not a lot of detail, a lot of cut, and they got a lot of machines, but he's doing his by hand and he's painting it and it's detailed. And so, like, I always say, like, bro, if I've never bought a custom pair of sneakers, but my first pair will be from him. No, it's gonna be from him. And again, just to piggyback off of what Joe said, man, Christina.
Yep.
Absolutely. I had an episode with her recently, and just to keep it real, man, she pressed me about some stuff. And, you know, and I was like, you right. I can't even.
Yep.
I can't. You right. You know. I can't even. I can't get
What
upset.
you gonna say?
You know, like,
Yeah.
you're right.
It's real
You
talk,
know,
man.
you're right. You know, and that really made me think about how I was moving on social media. Like, it really, just her perception of me, you know, because I think highly of her. When I first heard her speak, you know, I was like, yo, I ain't worried about what you got on. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't worried about the production. I was worried about how powerful what she was saying and the confidence in her voice. I'm like, oh, nah, like that's who I want to talk to. That's who I want to have conversations with. Like, that right there, just off the strength of the way she spoke, was like, all right, I gotta make that connection. I gotta connect those dots.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because she's working on some great things, and I don't see nothing but greatness in her future. And again, like, sometimes we need those people to press us, you know?
Yeah.
And it don't have to be, it don't have to be that. It does not have to be that. It's just be like, all right, let me see what this person is saying. Like, what is this person truly saying to me? Like, let me back up and really listen to what's being said, you know? And that's what I did. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You at 100% right. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna move a little different. So I'm gonna move a little different, and then I'm gonna keep that promise.
Yeah. She has a brilliant mind, man. I told her that first time I met her, and like, what she's doing, it's incredible. Like, there's really, I don't even know another example out there that we can kind of mirror to what she's doing. Even I don't know another example, man. Like, she's the one. She's the one.
I give a shout out to Ricky Shubio.
Lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna mention him too.
Ricky
Shubio.
Oh, go.
He has his agency is called The Big Kids. He was the first, like, I came across him I think during the pandemic, and I was like, oh, it's black people that do this. So it can be done.
Yeah, right.
I call Ricky Shubio our modern day Gordon Parks. Like,
man,
he'd be out there doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky was like the first person I met at BFF. Not this past year, but the year before.
Yeah, you can't miss him.
Yeah. Tall as I don't know what. But yeah, and he came over and talked to us and everything. And so it was just dope, like, to see all that he's done, like, shot with all the big, like, name a brand he probably
Yeah.
shot with him and did a
Adidas,
campaign with him.
Foot Locker, yeah.
Yeah.
And he is, for the record, one of those people that I did reach out to about settings, and he gave me a straightforward answer. He gave me the answer that I was seeking.
Yeah.
He
Like,
gives freely.
Before one of my biggest projects at the time. Like, yeah, Ricky is all love, man.
Yeah,
He's that
definitely.
guy.
It's you know, it's so many people, and you're like,
Yeah.
what comes to the top of the head? And J Tips,
Yeah.
like when you get to meet him, he's so down there.
Man, what?
He put a
Yeah.
you know, he put a whole brand on his back. He pushed the color palette envelope. You know what I'm saying? I know we had other people testing it, but just doing it with Saucony, just when you meet him, like he's just a dope person. You see he's got his homies that's been from the beginning with him still.
Yeah.
Even just the storytelling, he's been just showing more layers of himself, like being more transparent, like finding out that he's a father, you know what I'm saying? And the things that he's dealing with in business, trying to be the best in business, but also have a family, have people that really count on him. So, I mean, I've just enjoyed every time that I've met him, even just how he's communicated when I've talked to him about what he thinks the spirit of Black footwear forum is, and keeping that culture tight. It just made me understand kind of how to move in perspective. So, man, I've been buying every one of his shoes, so I'm just excited for the next one. Him keep, pushing and trying to do something different than what he did before, and that's what I love about his shoes.
Yeah. And go listen to his rap music, and then you'll get a whole nother appreciation for the cat, man, because this dude,
I need to.
Super talented, man. Super talented.
Definitely shout out to J Tips, man. Always been down to earth from the time I've met him. You know, like I reached out to him. He was one of our biggest guests, and I reached out to him, and he was like, yeah, I'll hop on. And the night of the episode, he was like, well, I'm gonna have to do it outside because I just put my kids to sleep, whatever. They running around stuff. And for most people, like, if you got a podcast, the last thing you want to do is put somebody, record with somebody in an environment outside. It's like, but man, till this day, that was one of my favorite episodes, man, because he's literally in his neighborhood on the front porch having this conversation. You can hear the environment around him, and it's just like he's still so tuned in and locked into what we're saying. You got people that's coming up on the porch, and he's like, hey, yeah, man, I'm doing an interview. I'll talk to you afterward. And and I thought they were like that's
the realest and the raw shit.
I didn't take it as no disrespect. I was like, the fact that you're willing to, like, I want to keep my word to you and give you this interview. Let's do it. And I was like, like, to this day, out of 106 episodes, that's one of my favorite. Definitely like my top 5. So definitely shout out to J Tips.
Same thing.
Shout out.
That boy was smashing something. I was like, man, let me get a bowl of that. When I had him on my podcast, that boy, I don't know what he was eating, but it was.
He said,
hey, it was good. When I come out there, let me know.
He had that menudo.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Had the train in the background. I say, yeah, this is some New York shit. Yeah, let's get it.
Hey, look, I can see the reflection of the police lights on his face.
I was like, hey, let's get real with it. You know what I'm saying?
Man. So, man, but I mean, like I said, I loved it, man. I loved it. That just shows, like, how the fact that, like, I mean, he was at the peak of, like, one of his hottest shoes, and I'm just like, you still in the hood? Like, you still on the porch? Like, I'm like, hey, shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Yeah, bro.
And then to wrap up with the second part of that, I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet. How are we gonna, preserve the culture and move the culture forward? For me, it's simple as just being myself. Being black as F. I ain't gonna say being black as F.
Sir.
Walking in the rooms and being comfortable with who I am, regardless of what's felt about me or what's not felt about me. Just being comfortable, being open, being as resourceful as I can be, as helpful as I can be, and being vulnerable and transparent about this journey. Like, this journey is tough.
Fact.
Or
This
Facts.
journey is hard. Like,
Facts.
my most recent episode, a lot of people didn't know I got laid out from 2 jobs in 2024. But I
Yeah.
got laid out from 2 jobs in 2024. So, you know, beginning 2025 like that, like who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, just being as vulnerable and transparent as I'm comfortable with being, and then even if it's not online, like being even more vulnerable and transparent offline,
Yeah.
and just being okay with who I am today while aspiring to be who I want to be tomorrow. So
Mm.
that's really it, man, and sharing this love of these kicks, cause you
Yeah.
know, it's enough of them to go around.
Yes,
It
sir.
definitely is.
facts. They keep pushing them
Dropping.
out,
I
man.
can say they dropping so many.
Listen.
They too much to go around.
Yes.
Man. Oh, I know we wrapping it up, but I was talking to Gabe about this,
Mhm.
and I think it's polarizing, and I gotta bring it up. There's been the notion that with the sneaker community, we're getting too many collabs, and that's not good for the sneaker community. But when we think about the collabs, a lot of the people that are getting collabs are black and brown people. And a lot of black and brown people that are on the design team may not have as much power. So these collabs that these black and brown people are getting is opportunities for us.
Yep.
Why would we
Mhm.
want to block that and say,
Fact.
oh, we're diluting the sneaker community?
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about it.
So I just want to put
Listen.
that out there. Like, if we are getting opportunities to tell our stories, when usually to get in that room in these big brands is very hard because you have to climb
Yes.
the corporate ladder. If it's a celebrity, however the person's getting that collab, if it's a black and brown people, if that's how we getting the access to put our stamp on the culture that we helped to create, come on, roll them out.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
People gonna buy.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know what I'm
down.
saying? People gonna buy.
Bring me the
People gonna support.
collabs. Send all the collabs my way.
And CJ Will, I think it's I think
got
it's
it.
important you said that. I think it's important you said that because outside perspective, a lot of perspectives like consumer perspective, right? We getting all this, we can't afford, why they doing another one and da-da-da-da. They're not thinking deep. They're not thinking about the designers or design teams that's working on it or the individuals like, damn, he is black. This is 6th collab. This is that like that shows like show and prove like we got the sauce. We started this. You know what I'm saying? So being a designer myself, I know how hard that access is and trying to get in and give and get an opportunity. So yeah, like it's so crazy that you mentioned that. I've even like rethought or tried to come up with a better way to really break in the industry, not only as a designer but a potential collaborator. You know what I'm saying? And actually collab, because actually getting in as a black designer, even though it's a lot more accessible than it was when Wilson got in, when Dwayne Edwards got in. Mind you, I believe, if I remember correctly, Dwayne Edwards was like 6th in the industry, and like maybe like 3rd or 4th person to touch a Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Black person to touch a Jordan. So it was like, it's still a new concept of having a bunch of black people designing shoes for black people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this is us. You know what I'm saying? We consume it, we purchase it, we make it cool, we do all of this. So it's like, I think is to go back to what I was saying initially. It's important that you brought that up, J. Will, because that perspective may help the community as a whole realize, like, yeah, it's a lot. We may be we getting shoes dumped on us every day. But when we look at the collabs, it's like, yo, this is a Union collab. This is a Travis Scott collab. This is a Amamanier. Like these are black names or black people behind these collabs that are getting a chance to tell our stories, to keep our history alive while everybody's trying to wash it away. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I say all that to say, I agree, Jay Will, like, bringing out that perspective, I hope will help the community understand that the collabs are more than just a shoe. It's history and it's access, it's opportunity.
Yeah.
And looking at it that way, why be mad?
I like that. I like that. Um, Last year was, same thing this year. um, but it's grace with that feedback from others.
Yes.
When it's coming from someone that looks like me. Uh, Last year I talked about my criticism towards other people. Now it's more of like being able to handle that criticism when it's coming towards me. When there's feedback on my podcast, feedback on my product, my content, whatever I do. Those conversations can be definitely those conversations can go left real quick.
Yeah.
real quick. But I think it's all about perspective, like how you're viewing what that person's saying. The conversation that me and Christina had, it could have went left. I could have been like, well, this is I said what I said, and this is how it's gonna be. Blah blah blah. She heard me out. She listened to what I said, and she's like, that's cool. But I'm gonna tell you this, and like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah,
I hear that. This is how we came to a common ground, and I feel like that's where these conversations need to be. Come into a common ground where we can both be productive and we both can take something from this conversation. I'm not asking you to change, and you don't have to ask me to change, but there is something that we can take from these conversations,
Absolutely, yeah. And I wasn't a part of that conversation, but I can guarantee you she talked about how somebody else's perspective is their reality, or perception. Somebody else's perception is their reality, right? So it's like my intent behind something. My intent may be like one thing, but how somebody else perceives it is the thing that matters the most, if that person is important to me, right? So I can almost guarantee I know exactly how she put it.
She put it. She's a little more stern with it.
Yeah.
She's a little more stern with it. She said with her chest a little bit more, but yeah.
She's real. She's definitely real with it, man. But but
I appreciate that though.
Yeah, she's pure, man. She's pure heart and like great intentions, and she wants to see everybody win, man. Like she ain't out there like ain't no crabs in the barrel with her, man. It's like, hey, it's enough out here for everybody to eat. Like, let's get this thing together. So that's about that whole collective that we were talking about, man. We gotta and see, our goal is to find everybody with that mindset and link them, right? Everybody needs to be linked that has that mindset, because at that point now you've gone from a battalion to a whole army. You know what I'm saying? So everybody doesn't know who everybody is. So once we know that somebody has that type of thinking, that type of mindset, then we got to put them on, man. Like, that's as simple as that,
Yeah.
I like it. So if you guys want to get into the showcase shoe.
All right. So we're talking about showcase shoes. So I got to go with this guy right here.
I like it. I ain't mad at it.
Steel with a toe cap. So this shoe like means a lot to me. I actually bought this shoe out of eBay in 1994 when they released it. And, back in 2016, I started tagging Jumpman, like saying, hey, we got to bring the toe cap back. We got to bring the toe cap back, because my original shoe, it got lost somewhere at my parents' house. And then I bought the 2013 pair, it had that smooth toe or whatever. And I always kind of like was a little bit empty, because I was like, man, I really want that toe cap back. So I started hitting Jumpman in like 2016, and then I think around, I forget what year it was, maybe 2022, I started doing something every month, right, where I was like, hey, we gotta get it, start showcasing the shoe. And then eventually we got the shoe back, and I'm like super happy. I got like multiple pairs, because I'm like, they'll probably never do it again. But one interesting thing about this, right, and we're talking about like some of our conversation about things, and earlier in the conversation were about like access, or people getting opportunities and stuff like that. And this is not about like me being like upset or bitter or anything, but for 10 years, like, and then when they released the shoe, Jumpman never said anything to me. They never reached out, they never liked the post, they never acknowledged the post, anything like that. And I see people that I'm not even gonna get into it that way, but I see other people do things that are much smaller in scope, right, and show less dedication or less, being genuine about that thing, right, that shoe, that product, or whatever. And they get all this attention. They get packs dropped off at the doorstep, and they get early access, and they get special boxes and all this other kind of stuff sent to them. And I'm like, man, 10 years of like really being dedicated to something that I actually had a story that they could have developed around it, because I got pictures of me like walking around with it when I was in college, and I was like an orientation leader, and I wore it the whole summer, like every day, the whole summer. And it's like, I got this real life story that this conglomerate could have like utilized, and they didn't say a word. So that lets me know that I'm not even gonna say all that. But one of the things that just stood out to me is that, they never even acknowledged that genuine effort and just kind of beating that drum to bring back this classic shoe that I think really had a great part of the Jordan brand history. But I'm glad to have it back, man. I got it, and I got multiple pairs. I'll be able to wear this thing until I'm 100, and we're going to make it do what it do. I appreciate you.
Hey, man. Hey, to add on that, you just got to do like Dre the Shoe Guy. He take his own credit. He be like, hey, you seen this video 2 years ago? I said it. I told you. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, man.
Claim it. Hey, let you know each year who brought it back.
I wasn't as dedicated as you, Gabe, but I kind of felt like that with the Black Tongue Fire Red 5.
Yes, sir.
But, you know what I'm saying? The game is the game.
It is.
The game is the game.
We just keep it pushing. My shoe is a new silhouette, the GT Future.
Got them bangs.
So yeah, I knew about the shoe since Portland last year, in January of last year, and I was like, it was one of them things, like when you hear the people, the black people that talk about the shoe and the process of the creation of the shoe and the pride that they have with the shoe, it like, this probably, I'm not gonna lie, this is a shoe I probably wouldn't even looked at. I wasn't into like posits and stuff like that growing up, and just hearing it, I was like, damn, okay. And then going to All-Star Weekend and seeing it leak and being a part of the leak for it, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, like, and so like the GT Future is just it's a shoe that really means something to me. I didn't design it. I wasn't in no meetings. I wasn't in no rooms, nothing like that. But to see it, it's a shoe that makes me proud to see, because I know some of the people that worked on it and the pride that they have behind this project and the blood, sweat, tears, and time that they put into it. So GT Future.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and grab these on the cusp of her next collaboration. I want to highlight the Tiana Taylors. Some people just look, some people just say the Tiana Taylor Jordan 1s.
I'm sorry. My bad.
They would call them the Tiana Taylor Jordan 1s, but people failed to realize these were a Zoom Comfort 2, right? Like, she took a silhouette that nobody was checking for and did something crazy. This was I can't even say this is probably still the most highly sought after Zoom Comfort 2 in the industry. Right. So I'm excited for her 3. Like, I was happy to get these. Excited for the 3. Most of y'all that know me, especially know me in shoes, I like shoes that are a little different, a little weird, a little extra. So I love all the extra stuff she got. I wish I could have been the All-Star somewhere where she was unveiling the shoe. But just want to give her roses more so on this. And then just, can't wait to see what she continues to do. Another multi-hyphenate woman that's just elevating the space.
My showcase shoe is the Salehi Benberry with Crocs. I'm not Crocs, with Clarks. Sorry about that. I've been rocking these a lot at the office, so it feels like it's like a business shoe that, hear me? I feel like it's a business shoe that also is like a Easter egg of sneakerhead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know,
It's fire.
type shoe. And I had some Clarks growing up, so this has been my only pair since being an adult, which he got me to buy. So I love him.
Like him. I went with my showcase shoe. I usually use shoes that people either forgot about or don't know about, and I went with the infrared low 11s.
Yeah.
Just based off of the infrared sixes that we just seen again.
Yeah.
I think they were calling these when we first seen pictures on these, they were calling these like the white cements, or because it had like the speckle right here on the back.
Yeah.
And then we thought this was gonna be varsity red, and then we seen it was infrared. So I don't see these around a lot. If you didn't know, I am an 11 guy. Like I
Yeah.
love 11s, low top, high top, mid cut, patent leather, no patent leather, Jordan Futures, all of it. I love 11s.
The fruits.
So I think I have maybe 30 pairs of 11s.
Oh,
yeah.
So yeah, I love my retro 11s. So yeah, infrared 11 lows. That's my showcase shoe. But fellas, I appreciate you guys hopping on the Soul Brother podcast, taking time out your day. I truly appreciate it. Any closing remarks?
Hey, just
Stay
thank you.
black.
Yeah, stay black and beautiful. And
Stay blessed.
listen, hey,
Hey.
Flex, thank you, brother, for
Big.
Always.
for putting this together. I'm very humble for being included as a part of this conversation. I think that it's a truly important conversation to be had. Like, it's something that we have to not stray away from. We actually have to accelerate and run towards these type of conversations, right? Because not only does it like spark the conversation and thought provoking, but there are also different things and ideas that come out of these type of conversations that somebody is going to be able to glean from and be able to go make some stuff happen with. So I just appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this, man.
Absolutely.
Blessings to you for that, for sure.
Thank you.
I was just gonna say, yes, sir. I definitely appreciate it too. Our voices need to be heard, and you allow a platform that allows that to happen. So, yeah. And then also, just for everybody out there, that was for you, Flex, but for everybody out there and Flex, your only limit is what you believe you can do. That's your only limit. So if you believe you could do anything on some Kanye stuff, you could do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
If you believe you can't do it, you won't do it. So always believe in your higher self, even if you feel like you can't see that higher self right now.
I like it, man. I like that. I would just like to say that be proud of who you are, be proud of where you're from. And you don't have to be disrespectful to do that. I know a lot of people feel like you got to push others out, push away people that may not look like us. You don't have to do that. You can still support what you support, still be about what you be about, amplify what you need to amplify. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end it because the Wayne storage done ran out. So, as I always say, guys, love, peace, and sneakers.
Hey, we out for sure.
Peace.
So brothers, yeah. So brothers, retro 7, retro 3s, metallic 7, retro 11, sitting on freeze. They got so